players of the first game of the NCAA South Central Regional, UCCS, head coach Lynn Plett, and Brittany Hernandez and Tori Fisher. Coach, if you just want to start with opening statement on your win this afternoon, we'll open it up to questions.
Sure. Obviously, I'm pleased, to say the least, but I thought we did a really good job, I think, especially in the second half. But in the first half, we were trying to figure out matchups and got a little confused once in a while, but I thought our players did a really good job of staying within what our plan was, at least defensively. And we didn't shoot the ball as well in the first half. Neither team did, for that matter. And turnovers happened to be a problem for us throughout the entire ball game. Second half, again, game's simple sometimes when the basket goes in. And we hit some shots, and it was just a momentum switch that really started off in the third quarter, hit some really good shots. I think our players really got in rhythm. We talk about that a lot, about rhythm shots, and they were kind of feeling their rhythm on some of those three-point shots that kind of broke it open in the third quarter, and then we continued to, I thought we did a good job of getting the ball in and out. Fortunately, they didn't shoot the ball very well until the last 3 or 4 minutes of the ball game, and then they shot really well. But fortunately, we had a lead big enough where that didn't necessarily interfere with the outcome of the ball game. So I'm pleased with the effort and the way our players played.
Questions?
Coach, talk about this game compared to last game in a sense that last game was much more defense-oriented compared to this more offensive game as far as the stats go.
I think defense was still a priority for us because our objective is to keep them the lowest percentage possible from the field, and I think for the most part we did a pretty good job of that. Again, they hit some shots at the end. A lot of that had to do with matchups sometimes of who our players needed to realize, okay, who did coach say that we're going to give a shot to, and who did coach say that we need to keep from getting to the basket, and they did a really good job of understanding that, and I think that helped us on the defensive end as much as possible. Offensive rebounding we didn't do. We allowed them to get too many offensive rebounds, but again, as pleased as I am with outcome, coaches are never completely satisfied.
Coach, as far as the stats go, practically everyone on the roster scored. Taking you through how big it is for players to touch the floor here at the NCAA tournament and really get those jitters out in case you need to go to them late in these games.
I think it's really important for us to do that. I think we were tight in the first. I think both teams maybe were a little bit, and that was maybe reflected in the not as good a shooting percentage as everybody's capable of doing. So yeah, it's good. But honestly, for us, we've kind of been doing that throughout especially the last half of the season. One of our strengths, we believe, I think as all of us believe, right, is the depth that we have on our team. Today in particular, I mean, Jenna came in and played a really good ball game. Mia came in and did some great things. And to tell you the truth, sometimes when those players come in off the bench and do some really good things, that just fires up everybody even more. We have great camaraderie on the bench. When our starters are on the bench, sometimes they're louder than the players who are usually on the bench. And so to get those kind of contributions from players that come in that don't necessarily start all the time is huge for us.
Tori, did you finally feel
Come on. Yeah, I mean, it's a tough place to shoot, and I think you'll see that reflected in every team's first couple games here. But I mean, we've been here almost as much as our gym lately, so I better be comfortable.
To add to that, it's your fourth double-double this season. How does that make you feel as far as just being able to get those rebounds, get those baskets, and just build the confidence starting the first round of that CSU?
I mean, my team makes it easy for me some games, most games. Sometimes I just don't capitalize on it. But I mean, when everyone's boxing out, it's easy to go grab them, and it feels good. It feels good when everybody can kind of contribute and help everyone out.
Question for Brittany. Being one of the 4 6-foot forwards on this team, is that something you guys take pride in as far as, hey, we're going to lock down the paint, and really we saw that tonight on the defensive end?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like Coach was mentioning earlier, we have a lot of depth and we use it, especially with our height. And so I think it's a luxury that most teams don't really have that we definitely take advantage of.
Coach, talk about the game just in the post. Knowing how your advantage has been getting the ball on the post and then working it out. Just been able to make that success the girls have made that success throughout the entire game. how has that been an issue at all as far as the triple team and defensive pressure that the Greyhounds tried throwing in that first and second quarter?
Well, I mean, part of our offensive strategy to some degree is to kind of keep the offense spread out as much as we possibly can. And I think when we play balanced, it's really difficult. When we do our kind of a 4-out-1-in type set, at least when we do throw it inside, at least in sometimes, they can see when it comes, not all the time. But again, what worked out a number of times for us tonight was just a movement off the ball when we did get the ball to the post. I don't know if you remember one play, I think it was these two in the first half, where Tori got the ball on the block and made a really good bounce pass for Brittany, who was cutting to the basket, right underneath the basket. And those kind of concepts, those kind of movements that we need to have on offense really pay off when we execute those really well. And a lot of times that really worked real well today. So that kind of helps us with the double team as much as possible. And we always tell everybody to talk, tell everybody where it's coming from, and the guards need to be ready. And tonight they did a pretty good job of being ready when the ball did come back out to either shoot it or even penetrate to the basket, which was really good too.
Tori, you seem to be a vocal leader. Does that really get you going? Obviously, you had a double game tonight. Does that really get your team going, or really get you going?
I mean, yeah, I'm just a really loud person, so I capitalize on it on the court. And I like to think that it starts a fire. I play best when I'm loud and happy and just having fun, so I think so.
Brittany, you had 20 points tonight. It seemed like no matter when you were shooting, you knew whether to drive to the basket or just take the three-point shot. Being able to just come in as the RMAC offensive and defensive preseason player of the year and then have the accolade as the MVP from the RMAC tournament, does that boost your confidence going into today's game, or do you just continue to play your game like you always have and we've talked about?
Yeah, I just play. I don't really think about that stuff. Like, when at the time, I'm just trying to do what I can for my team to win.
Brittany, one more thing. You saw glimpses of a double team. As far as the team you're going to see next, is that something you really prepare yourself for? When you talk with your teammates, how do you really approach that moving forward?
Pretty much every game I expect, well, we both expect some sort of double team. So, I mean, if they do, they do, and if they don't, they don't.
Just to kind of add on to piggyback that question, the double team, you know it's coming. How big then are your other teammates, knowing that they are going to be coming for that triple team and double team that post?
Well, obviously, we want to hurry up and get them the ball because they're open. So, they're huge for us. If you're not going to guard them, they're going to make you pay for it. That's kind of how our philosophy is in that.
Time for one last question. Anybody else?
Questions on the physicality of the game. It was very much a lot more fouls this game. Free throw line, a lot more in this game. How did that play a factor throughout what you were trying to implement out there on the floor, Coach?
Well, anytime you can get to the free throw line, it's a benefit. And we haven't necessarily done, a consistent job of getting to the free throw line throughout the season. So it was really encouraging for us to get there. Just the way they were playing and on the inside too. It just takes sometimes it's a reminder to these two and Mia and Anna just to be strong when they do get it. And if they really, when they're more aggressive, usually they end up being on the positive side and go to the free throw line. And that kind of worked out for us, especially in the second half. We got them in foul trouble really early in the third quarter, which was definitely a benefit for us.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.